Guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I got to have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton from AntonDaniels.com. We are chilling. We are vibing. I got trapped this morning. And I got trapped specifically by my chick. Hey, Rita. I'm going to show y'all how I got trapped this morning before we get into the show. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a very, very fun show. Trump had a speech last night where he announced his presidency, and I figured we'd go ahead and tackle that today. But before we get into it, let me show y'all what I have. See my new addition, my new baby? I'm a girl dad. No, I'm just playing. Too young, too little, too fragile. Here. So, new baby in the family. Not my baby. Not my baby, but certainly a baby that will definitely be spoiled. Spoiled. So, no, Anton is not having another kid, but I will make sure that I mold and shape the children into being what they are, because the kids always find a way to spend a lot of time at my house. So shout out to, no, Anton did not get that V reversed, but we like kids. We like children. I can't see myself actually physically having another kid. Although I thought about it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did think about it. Like yesterday. Yesterday I was thinking like, and I almost asked Rita, just in a general sense, like, you think I should have another kid? Because my daughter is like 14 going on 30. And she's big and all of that. And then I was like, nah, there's no point in making a lifetime decision based off of a short-term thought. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be a little bit careful. We don't want to have another kid out here. And listen, if you see a woman out here and she says that Anton is my baby daddy, you know she lying because Anton got the snip snip on the drip drip. You know what I'm saying? We not having no more kids. But anyways, let's get started with the show. Make sure you tap in Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Just a little jokey joke to get us started in the day. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Shout out to Teach Hanley, always holding us down, making sure that we're taken care of. In addition to that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and then hit a like for the YouTube algorithm on your way in the door. And then last but not least, if you need to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. I also want to say, please follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And then I think I'm going to launch a Rumble. I did sign up for Rumble, but I'm not sure how it is that I'm going to invest. The shoes yesterday. So let me just go through a couple of little housekeeping items, and then we're going to get into the show. The shoes yesterday that I was telling y'all about. So you know I'm divesting myself against Nike. And both of them sold. The Jordan 11 Cool Grays and the Jordan 11 Cool Grays and the Bread Ones. The Jordan 11 Cool Grays and the Bread Ones. So both of them sold yesterday. Crazy. Went out the door. And it absolutely was a lot. They sold for a lot. Let me show you the next two up. I'm going to show y'all the next two up that I'm getting rid of today. Y'all don't like these. I actually got on my Yeezy slides. So these are the next two that I'm getting rid of today. All right? You ready? So the first pair will be these babies. We getting rid of these today. Completely unworn. We letting them go. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm personally divesting myself against Nike and Jordan. And then I'm moving on to new brands. So completely unworn. Has never been a foot inside of it. As a matter of fact, it still got the thing in it. You know what I'm saying? So we completely getting rid of these. And then we got some grails. We got some grails that we getting rid of. Never been worn a day. It got dust on it. Let me wipe the dust off these mugs. So you know what these are. These are the Jordan 11 Breads. For a lot of people, they would consider this a grail shoe. This is Michael Jordan's favorite shoe is the Jordan 11, if I'm not mistaken. And so I am getting rid of these today. So 1 to 2 pairs every day. We getting rid of them. And yeah. These are called the Chili Reds right here. The Chili Reds. And then we getting rid of the, I think these are 9s. And then those are Jordan 11 Breads. So we getting rid of them. Completely getting rid of everything. Completely divesting myself against everything. The cool gray 11s and the Bread ones is already gone. They out the door. These two are the next to go. And so we're going to continue to do the work. And we're going to continue to mine this out. Let me move my chair over. And make sure that I'm making sure that I'm getting rid of everything because I don't want to continue to support anything that I don't necessarily care for that continues to be egregious. Why should I support them and why should I be a walking billboard and an advertisement for them? Lachonsky Jones says, shout out and good morning, brother and bag chasers. If you're interested in another watch brand, check into the Original Grain watch brand. Original Grain watch brand. Huh. Interesting. I'm completely going to switch my style up. So before we really deep dive into the show, thank you, Lachonsky. Before we deep dive into the show, let me just give you guys a little bit of insight on where my mind is right now. It's getting bad out here. It's getting very, very bad out here. I see snow on the ground. I see snow on rooftops as I look out across the water on my deck. And being downtown in any city. But being downtown where my office is, and I'll be there this afternoon, I was shooting content with Charleston, and then I usually hit the streets before and after and all of that other type of stuff. Being downtown, you get to really see what's what out here, right? And one of the things that's interesting about it is that what I see happening from people and the type of calls that I'm getting, not from the bag chasers, but from people that have not been bag chasers, because I've been hitting on this for an extended period of time, right? And I've been trying to tell you guys, hey, prepare, lower your lifestyle, up your income, buy more assets because the assets are going to appreciate over time. Put yourself in a position of power and then prepare for a downturn. What's up, my dog DDS? What's happening, big dog? And prepare for a downturn. And so I've been talking to y'all, and I'm kind of prefacing this before we get into the whole Trump conversation. And I want to mine through his speech because I have not watched his speech. And I heard that Mike Pence said something, so we're going to mine through both of those videos. But I've been warning y'all, and so now I've been getting a lot of phone calls from people, and they saying, Anton, what should I do? Now, it's two types of phone calls that I'm getting right now, right? The first phone call is, yo, I see the writing on the wall. How do I pivot? And people want to take shortcuts, so they want to hurry up and get into a boot camp so that they can get into coding and all of this other type of stuff. If you want to understand what my perspective is about that, then make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. The second call that I'm getting from people is, well, it's actually three types of calls. But the second call that I'm getting from people is everything is bad from a relationship perspective. And a lot of y'all are trying to deep dive into relationships and you're moving too fast. The thing that I see from people more often than not is that they think that the grass is always greener on the other side. And that applies to relationships. It applies to money. It applies to a job. It applies to everything. And so the thing that I'm going to tell you, and this is the advice that I'm giving you right now, buckle down. Buckle down. For those of y'all that want to hurry up and jump into a boot camp because it's promoted by Anthony O'Neill or some bullshit like that, let me tell you something. I don't have anything against Anthony O'Neill, and I know he's probably just promoting it because they sent him a bag in order to, promote it and all of that. But let me tell you something. I'm not the boot camp kind of guy. If you just gonna go to boot camp route, then you might as well just do YouTube University or jump into a Udemy course. You can be self-taught. All they doing is giving you a crash course, but then you're going to have to compete against all of the different developers that's being released into the wild that's being laid off from these other companies. The barrier to entry is going to go back up again. And so because companies are going to have a choice, they're not going to go for the minimum viable product. We call it the MVP. They're not going to go for the MVP candidates because they don't necessarily need you. Which is one of the reasons why I told y'all to have a long-term view in everything that you look for, everything that you look to invest in, everything that you look to do long-term, even the relationships that you get into. Make sure you have at least a 10-year view on these things because the expiration date is soon on a lot of these relationships, a lot of these jobs, a lot of these positions. You decided that you wanted to go into marketing and diversity inclusion, and diversity inclusion is the first position out the door. Listen, all of that Black Lives Matters and all of that type of stuff, that was cute. That was cute when the economy was booming and they was giving out free money and it wasn't a lot of jobs to go around. But we gonna see what happened. I warned y'all. I told y'all. I've been telling y'all for the last 2 years. Be careful. Be careful. Lower your lifestyle. It's not going to last a long time. Then they said, Anton is saying that the sky is falling. Okay. All right. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Hold on to your position. Don't be so quick to leave. A lot of y'all have been at these positions for a year or less, and you already looking to jump ship because you think that it's a better opportunity out there. I'm telling you, if you have any level of stability over the next year to 2 years, you need to sit your ass down. Chill. As a matter of fact, I would sit down and then be mining through another possible source of income that you can bring into the house. Lower your expenses, lower your lifestyle, chill out. Listen, you can have fun no matter what it is that you do. You can go to the park and have fun.
You could be sitting there on the couch with a movie and have a good time. Have some friends come over. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Put together, bring a bottle of wine. Bottles of wine is cheap. Cheese and crackers, have a tasting, whatever. It's 1,000 different ideas that you can do. You don't have to be out here busting down a bag. I'm not even buying anything, and I'm up. And I'm up. I'm up more than ever. I'm not even buying. As a matter of fact, all of the money that I'm getting, that I'm making for this, I'll probably make the equivalent of $25,000-$30,000 back in my pocket, uh, in the green from all of these positions or all of these sneakers that I then have. I have some very, very expensive sneakers, and every single pair that I sell, I make money off of them. Every single pair that I sell. Do you know what I'm gonna buy with that? I'm gonna buy land. This right here, these right here, all of these sneakers that I keep getting rid of. See, everything I look at from a business perspective, and they're an asset. But not only am I going to make money from them, but I'm also going to then put them into something else that allows for me to make more money in the long term. See, I'm not just selling these and tricking off the money. I'm selling them and I'm putting them into assets, right? I own so much land in Michigan. We just buy up everything and we never, ever sell it. There's a lot of people that's getting some money and they not just fumbling it. They're not just fumbling it. They actually out here doing things with the money. They actually out here getting it. I'm buying more land and more property. If you're a part of the Bag Chasers, then you've seen me show you the proof of me purchasing the land. I'm telling you, don't be so enamored. This is the perfect opportunity for not only for you to divest yourself against all of the things that's actually preventing you from being successful, like being an over consumer of goods and services, but then you need to redivert that money into things that actually allow for you to get rich and successful. Buckle down, chill out, don't overspend, don't over leverage yourself. I read a report today, and then we're going to get straight into the whole Trump speech. Let me show you what I read today, what I was looking at. This is what I was looking at today. I was looking at this. Amazon staff creates list of where layoffs are hitting and the safe list. People are praying that they don't hit that list to get their jobs laid off. Staff anxious to know more and formed a Slack channel to discuss layoffs, and it has more than 7,000 members. Listen, let me tell you something. Just because you anxious and just because you out here talking about, oh man, am I going to be one of the ones to get laid off? Don't prevent you from getting laid off. You should have already been in a position to where you can actually leverage this opportunity in order to be able to leapfrog into something else. You need to be a lifetime student. You need to be increasing your skills. You need to be lowering your lifestyle so that you're not operating under duress and then you're making decisions under pressure that's not best for you. And then let me show you something else that I was looking at, right? So I'm mining through, right? I'm mining through, and I'm looking at all of the different articles. And where was it at? Nope. Was it that? Where was it at? It was an article that got sent to me this morning. Nope. Man, where was that article? Where was it at? It had caught my eye. It was about HELOCs. Y'all know what a HELOC is? A home equity line of credit. There it is, from the Wall Street Journal. More Americans is tapping home equity lines for financial safety nets. HELOCs were up 40% in the second quarter from a year earlier. And here's what homeowners should know before taking out home equity. It's basically telling you and it's showcasing the fact that people are under duress and they can't afford their lifestyle, they can't afford their homes. And HELOC is a home equity line of credit. So what happens is, instead of you using a credit card, you're able to leverage the value in your home in order to take out a line of credit. And because you're able to take out a line of credit against your home, you get much better rates because it's secured against the home, right? So you can basically take out the equity in your home and a line of credit to be able to substantiate and live your lifestyle. And not only that, be able to maintain. And so when people tell you this false narrative and they saying, well, owning your home, all you doing is financing your lifestyle and continuing to pay the interest in order to be able to do so. Think about it. Let's go down. Watch this. Americans took out $66 billion in home equity lines of credit or HELOCs in the second quarter, a 40% increase from a year ago. That's crazy. A 40% jump in people pulling out the equity in their home when home values are actually going down, and the prices that you pay for these homes or the prices that you're financing them for is going up. Look, a HELOC works like a credit card, but since it's backed by your property, generally offers a much more favorable interest rate. The average HELOC is 7.7% according to bank rate, compared to 19% on a credit card, 10% on average personal loan rates. So basically they're saying, listen, if you put your home up, we will give you a better interest rate, which basically means that we want you to pay us to loan you money, so you basically financing your lifestyle. All I'm telling you to do is be careful. Be very careful. Hold it down. Don't be so quick to move and do things that's not in your best interest, and lower your lifestyle. You'll thank me later. Let's get into this whole Trump conversation. So, my man Trump. So Trump last night from Mar-a-Lago, which is the place where his home residence and office and his base is now. When he was running for president in 2016, was it 16 that he ran for president? Or he ran for president before that? When he was running for president before, his base was in New York. Remember when they had the Secret Service and the Secret Service had to move into his tower in New York and stuff like that, the Trump Tower? He announced last night to a group of hardcore Trump supporters that he was running for president. Now, me personally, right, when I voted for the presidential election almost 6 years ago, maybe a little bit more, when he first came, I didn't think that he was going to win. I didn't even think that he took it serious. I thought that, and I was wrong. I have no problem coming back to the front of the congregation saying that I was wrong. I did not believe that Trump even took it serious. I believed that it was an opportunity for him to be able to market himself more effectively to the people, and that he hit a nerve, and it actually resonated with the people that wound up being his most galvanized supporters. And it's funny because me and Charleston talked about it on the interview that we did last night, and I'm going to release that. I got like, four different interviews that I got to release of just Charleston alone, and that ain't even got nothing to do with all of the other interviews that we had done inside of the content creation space. Me and Charleston just be cooking up. That's all we just be cooking up and throwing it in the vault. Cooking up, throwing it in the vault. And then he'd be like, Anton, do what you want whenever you going to do it, and whenever you going to release it. And I'd be like, I ain't giving it to the general public. I'm only going to give it to the bag chasers. When my editing team get done with it, then we'll decide whether or not we want to drop it tomorrow or the day after. But he addressed so much, and the conversations that we have is not just what's going on in popular culture, but it's a deeper dive and a deeper conversation. And so you'll never get this type of content because I'm never releasing any long form content any longer on YouTube. I will never release a full interview on YouTube ever again. The only thing I'm ever going to do is ever put up clips. So if you ever want any kind of full interview, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm never putting any long form content on YouTube ever again. It's just the way that it is. We building out our own platforms. We building out our own space. We got our own marketing strategies. We got long-term things that we putting together. But anyway, so I didn't think he was going to win in 2016, and he absolutely mopped the floor with that chick. I knew that it was going to be a tough time because Democrats and black women and a lot of other people that run in the Victim Olympics. I knew that they was going to come through and they was going to absolutely take that back in 2020, which is exactly what happened, right? Now we are in 2022 and Trump has officially thrown his hat in the ring for president of 2024. 2024. All right. So, with that being said, there are a lot of people that don't believe, even in the Republican Party. There's a lot of people that's telling them not to run because they don't want it to prohibit him from. Give me 1 second. Hello. I'm sorry. Who is this?
Hello.
Who is this?
My name is Crystal with Tax Relief Services. How are you doing today?
Who are you calling for?
I'm just following up about a tax relief request that you made online.
I
Do you
made a
owe money
tax.
to
I
the
made.
IRS?
I made a tax relief request online. Who made a tax relief request online?
Is there anyone else in the household that has tax or unsecured debt? Our records indicate that someone at this number may have at least $10,000 in debt.
$10,000 in debt. Who made it? Who made the? Y'all didn't ask for a name in the form that they filled out online.
Well, I'm sorry we couldn't help you today. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have
Wait! Don't go. I need relief. I need relief. They hung up. They hung up. They didn't want to give me tax relief. Let's not get derailed. Let's get back into the show. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. I don't know. You know me. I like to play around. Let's jump into the whole speech in which Trump gave so that we can mine this out and we can better understand exactly what's happening and whether or not Trump is the candidate for you. And let's try to break down a speech. All right. So let me find it. I'm at the home base. Let me tell you something. I'm at the content creation space last night, and I'm chilling with Rita. Shout out to Voice of Reason. Voice of Reason says, hold on, let me open this up. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to leave all of my computers down here at the space. And she said, why are you going to do that? I said, because it'll make sure that I get back down. They said I'm on demon time. I love it. It'll make sure that I get back down. I got you, patriarchy. I promise you I got you. I just been crazy busy, big dog. 100%. Appreciate everybody with the super chats. I said, I'm going to leave all of my computers down because it'll incentivize me to get back down here about 5 a.m. in the morning. And she was like, no, you should just take it home. Now look at me. Not down at the content creation space, making sure that this thing gets mined out. I'm not in downtown Detroit right now. I'm out here at the crib playing with babies. You know what I'm saying? Playing with babies out in here. All because my wife wanted to suggest to me that I bring my computers on. I got to get down and work, girl. I can't be out here with you. But let's go into this video. I want to see what Trump's speech is. And let's get it popping. Again, thank you guys. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This looks like mass. This literally looks like mass. Why do everybody pull out their phones? I don't understand.
Gentlemen, please welcome the next President and First Lady of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump, accompanied by Mrs. Melania Trump.
Hey, y'all noticed that there wasn't no breakups. Let me go fast forward past that. I wonder why didn't Candace Owens show up? We gonna mine that out tomorrow. I'm gonna bypass the music.
You and all of those watching are the heart and soul of this incredible movement and the greatest country in the history of the world. It's very simple. There has never been anything like it. This great movement of ours, Never been anything like it, and perhaps there will never be anything like it again. There's never been anything to compete with what we have all done. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens, America's comeback starts right now. Two years ago, when I left office, the United States stood ready for its golden age. Our nation was at the pinnacle of power, prosperity, and prestige, towering above all rivals, vanquishing all enemies. And
Hey, vanquishing all enemies. Hey, he used some very colorful adjectives in order to be able to describe what it is that he had going on. But I thought that he was doing a pretty good job. I don't have any problem with what he had going on.
Riding into the future, confident and so strong. In 4 short years, everybody was doing great. Men, women, African Americans, Asian Americans,
Facts.
Hispanic Americans.
Facts.
Everybody was thriving like never before.
That is facts. He is 100% right about that.
There was never a time like this. We turned the page on decades of globalist sellouts and one-sided trade deals, lifted millions out of poverty, and together we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. When the virus hit our shores, I took decisive action and saved lives and the U.S. economy. And by October of the same year, America was roaring back with the #1 fastest economic recovery ever recorded. How about that?
It's a lot of people that will say it's not about money. It's a lot of people that will say it's not about money. And I will say to you, you are a liar. I will call you to your face a liar. When when the money is right, and I'm not even just talking about just America in general. I'm talking about with people. I know the volume is low on the video. There's nothing I can do about that because that's just the volume that the video was recorded in. So you're just going to have to rock out with me. But when the money was right, when the money is right, everybody is happy. Except for maybe black people. Black people, you know, I don't know, man. They gon' do the thing that's not in their best interest no matter what happens. We see people getting layoffs. The economy is floundering. Everything is going absolutely bad right now. And you got Trevor Noah walking around with an afro on like he really, really about that life. Have y'all seen Trevor Noah lately? Let me show you what Trevor Noah looks like. We're going to get back to the speech in a second. I just want to show you what Trevor Noah looks like. 2022. Look at this guy. This is Trevor Noah in 2022. Why? Why? Trevor Noah is a sucker. Trevor Noah is a sucker, bro. Anyways, let's continue.
All of the incoming administration, and all they had to do was just sit back and watch. Inflation was non-existent. Our southern border was by far the strongest ever. And because the border was so tight, drugs were coming into our country at the lowest level in many, many years. Importantly, after decades of rising energy costs, the United States had finally attained the impossible dream of American energy independence, which soon would have turned into energy dominance. For the first time in memory, China was reeling and back on its heels. You've never seen that before, because the United States was outdoing them on every single front, and China was paying billions and billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs. The farmers know that because they got 28 billion of it. No president had ever sought or received $1 for our country from China until I came along, and we were getting hundreds of billions of dollars. Many people think that because of this, China played a very active role in the 2020 election. Just saying, just saying. Sure, that didn't happen. Instead of jobs and factories leaving America for China, they were for the first time ever leaving China for America.
Hey, somebody fact check this for me, because I'm not familiar with it. He's saying that China was paying billions and billions of dollars in tariffs. Now, I know that there was a tariff installed in order to be able to enact this trade war, and I will also give Trump a lot of credit for renegotiating NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, in which he had with Canada and Mexico, because he wanted a more fair trade agreement with those countries, because everything was being exported or offshored as far as the companies that were manufacturing American goods, versus everything being made in America. I think that that's a tall task. I think that that's a tall task to ask for the majority of Americans or the majority of American manufacturing to come back to the shores, because I don't see people going back to the factory floors. I don't. I think that what you see happening today is that Americans have readjusted what it was that what it is that they expect as far as from a payment perspective, and it's either all or nothing. Either they've been tethered to the government, which allows for them to be able to survive, right? Or they want really, really, really high paying jobs. It's not a lot of people that's just being middle of the road that just want to get a starter job or want to just go into a factory or looking to do any of that anymore. I'm going to tell you, even here in Detroit, I remember when Chrysler built a new plant down in Detroit in the city just a few years ago, and they couldn't even get enough people to be able to sign up for the jobs because most of them couldn't pass the drug test. Most of them could not pass the drug test. Very few people could pass the drug test to be able to operate heavy machinery and equipment on the job. That's just a fact. You can look it up.
Businesses were pouring back because of our historic tax and regulation cuts, the biggest in both categories in history, bigger even than what Ronald Reagan was able to produce, and he produced a lot. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea were in check. They respected the United States, and quite honestly, they respected me. I knew them well.
Trump has
The vicious ISIS caliphate,
no
which no
problem
president was able to
that.
conquer,
I like so.
was decimated by me and our great warriors in less than 3 weeks, and al-Baghdadi, its founder, was hunted down and killed. North Korea had not launched.
Wait. Let me say something right now, right? Because I see y'all in the chat, and somebody, Ray said Trump is the worst candidate that can run. Ray, before you say that, I need to understand. Are you an American citizen, and are you even here on American shores? Are you an American citizen, and are you even here on American shores? Because I don't want anybody telling me what's best for us that does not have a vested interest in what goes on here. I need to understand, Ray, if you are even here on American, how is that? That's not irrelevant. That's not irrelevant. You can't determine who's best for us and have an opinion on what the best option is if you don't even have a vested interest in what goes on here. That's like telling somebody that they shouldn't pay tithes and offerings in the church, and you ain't never even been to the church in the first place to understand why tithes and offerings is needed. Listen. And see, this is why you got to call people out in the chat on ABS, because everybody don't truly understand what it takes in order to be American. You're not here. You're not here. Kobe Jordan says, so Anton, you're saying more warehouse jobs, less tech jobs. Wow, I just started my cybersecurity program. That's a bummer. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm telling you what's happening. I'm telling you what's happening. So, listen, I think you should still rock out with your cybersecurity program. I think that you'll make a lot of money. But I'm not gonna sit here and listen to somebody that tell me um, that Trump is the worst thing for America, and you're not even here. What you talking about? I don't really understand how foreigners feel comfortable enough to talk about who should be in American politics and who shouldn't. I seen what you wrote. You didn't make any point. You said he is the worst candidate that can win. You don't know. You have no clue whatsoever, bro. Anyways, let's continue. I don't like it when people try to I don't like let me not derail the conversation.
Launched a single long-range missile since my summit with Chairman Kim Jong-un nearly 3 years before. We developed a relationship, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Very good thing, actually. Just look at what's happening today. My opponents made me out to be a warmonger and just a terrible person who would immediately go into war. They said during the 2016 campaign that if he becomes president, there will never be a war within weeks, and we will have wars like you've never seen before. It will happen immediately, and yet I've gone decades without a war, the first president to do it for that long a period.
See, when he say, listen, I rock with him, and if he say, yo, this is what I did and this is how it happened, but then when he say stuff like I'm the first president to do it for that period, for that long of a period, I start to get a little bit like hazy. Like, is anybody gonna go back and try to fact check that to try to figure that out? And listen, I got to be objective. I'm an equal accountability smoke giver, right? I don't know how true that is. Is there any other president in history that absolved themselves from war for an extended period of time? I'm just like, do we just take stuff at face value just because somebody said it, or do we also have to substantiate the argument? I'm gonna have to invite Trump on Fight Club.
The world was at peace, America was prospering, and our country was on track for an amazing future because I made big promises to the American people, and unlike other presidents, I kept my promises. I kept them.
He did keep a lot of promises. He never promised. He never kept the promise when he actually released his tax return, which I didn't care about that. But he did keep a lot of promises. He kept a lot more than a lot of other presidents. That's for sure.
Thank you very much. Under our leadership,
I think
we were
that's
a
a
great
yes.
and glorious nation, something you haven't heard for quite a long period of time. We were a strong nation, and importantly, we were a free nation. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. For millions of Americans, the past 2 years under Joe Biden have been a time of pain, hardship, anxiety, and despair. As we speak, inflation is the highest in over 50 years. Gas prices have reached the highest levels in history and expect them to go much higher now that the strategic national reserves, which I filled up, have been virtually drained in order to keep gasoline prices lower.
He said, which I filled up. He didn't say it happened on my watch. He said, listen, I was out there with the gas pump filling up the reserves. All right. I was putting the oil up.
Prior to the election. Joe Biden has intentionally surrendered our energy independence. There is no longer even a thought of dominance, and we are now begging for energy help from foreign nations, many of whom find us detestable. Our southern border has been erased, and our country is being invaded by millions and millions of unknown people, many of whom are entering for a very bad and sinister reason.
You know what? I got to give him credit. And see, we never have the opportunity to go back in hindsight and determine whether or not the person was actually standing on the right issue or the right side of the aisle when it comes to specific issues. When he said that, yo, we need to secure our borders, he was absolutely right. And people got mad at him. And that just showed me how impartial people are. Who wouldn't want to secure whatever it is that they own? If you own a business, you just don't leave the door open. As a matter of fact, you got to get past a security guard. You got to get past two security doors just to be able to come into my content creation space. You got to get past two security doors that buzz you in, and you got to get past a security guard just to be able to come up there. You don't leave the door to your house open. Why would you leave the door to America open? And it doesn't even make sense. The argument doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you secure the border so that people can come in legally, and that way you can more effectively vet who's coming in the door so that they go through the process? It makes no sense to not secure. I have never seen one person give me an argument as to why your borders shouldn't be secure. That's insane. Marcus Major says, financially, Trump's era was great for me. It was phenomenal. I made more money under Trump than I ever have in my entire life, and that is a fact. Thank you for the super chats. R. Payne says, how do you reconcile with his low character? How do you determine whether or not somebody got low character, Mr. Payne? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go through this speech, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow for anybody that disagrees. If you agree with me, if you agree with Trump, then do not come on my panel. Do not click the link in the description to be able to come up here and have the conversation with me. I'm going to make sure you have good internet, good lighting, and a strong argument. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for you guys to be able to come up and express exactly what it is that you feel, because I'm not going to go back and forth with the chat. But we're going to continue this video, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat. If you agree with me, do not come up here. If you disagree with me and you think that Trump was a bad person for whatever it is that you think he was bad for, you wanted to keep the borders open, whatever, then I'm leaving that available for you to be able to come up.
You know what that reason is? We will be paying a big price for this invasion into our country for years to come. Hundreds of thousands of...
And hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, y'all. Come on, what the hell is going on?
Very lethal...
Why I gotta pause the video instead of playing a video? Hit a like for the algorithm. Let's rock out, y'all. Come on, do the right thing.
Are flooding across the now open and totally porous southern border. The blood-soaked streets of our once great cities are cesspools of violent crimes, which are being watched all over the world as leadership of other countries explain that this is what America and democracy is really all about. How sad. The United States has been embarrassed, humiliated, and weakened for all to see. The disasters in Afghanistan, perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, where we lost lives, left Americans behind, and surrendered $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. And Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were your president, are something.
How do we know this, though? Being objective. The link is pinned to the top of the chat for anybody that may disagree with what Trump is saying. How do we know this? How do we know that the Ukraine war would have never happened? And it's easy for him to state this claim, right? And he also can substantiate it slightly by saying, well, we started no new wars while we were under my watch. But how do we know this? Because you can't. Could he truly control whether or not Russia was going to invade Ukraine? Could he truly control whether or not Russia was going to invade Ukraine?
And even the Democrats admit that. That's something I've seen them admit over and over again. But our enemies are speaking of us with scorn and laughter and derision because of those two events. But there are many more. Even just today, a missile was sent in, probably by Russia, to Poland, 50 miles into Poland, and people are going absolutely wild and crazy, and they're not happy. They're very, very angry.
Jack Carter says,
Now we have
Anton, I'm down here working the border, and what you see and hear on TV is an understatement by 100 times. Wow.
a president who
Shout out to Jack.
falls asleep
Appreciate
at
the super
global
chat, big dog.
conferences, was held in contempt by the British Parliament over Afghanistan. Thanks to the words of wisdom, he said thank you to the wrong country for inviting him to a major summit on the environment, of all things. They fly for days to get there, and then he calls the country.
Alex, aka Frosty, said there were 19 false statements from the Trump speech last night. America was not at peace during his term. We were in Afghanistan during his term. This is coming from a Marine. Yeah, but we weren't in Afghanistan. See, the problem with this argument, though, and I appreciate the super chat, but the problem with your argument and what it is that you're saying right now, my friend, is because we weren't in Afghanistan as a result of a decision that he made. That started way before Trump ever became president of the United States in the first place. I don't know what 19 false statements that you're talking about, and I think that a lot of it that is nuance, but I don't know what he said that was false so far. I can't substantiate that. I appreciate it. Listen, if y'all more than welcome to be able to come up on the panel if you disagree with Trump. I'm more than welcome, ready to be able to bring y'all up. I'm turning the thing on now. Turning it on now. Arpain says, oh, here we go. Arpain says, I don't disagree with the good policy he accomplished. The question remains, I made more dollars as well, and I was looking for your thoughts on all the smoke that surrounds him. I think that you have to weigh. I do think that character matters, right? And I'm not as gung-ho to have a problem with what somebody does from a character perspective, and you'd have to mind that out on an individual level. So my question then becomes, what about his character don't you like? What about his character don't you like? And is it more important for him to have good policy that benefits more Americans, or is it more important for him to make you feel good? Because I think that when you lean into feelings, that's more of a feminine characteristic that we don't need, especially in these times. Kobe Jordan said even the scammers got rich during the Trump era. Oh, Jesus Christ. Before we continue, let's see what our foreigners have to say about Trump. I'm curious what the foreigners got to say about Trump. Yes, sir. What's going on?
Is my internet? Can you hear me well? Is my internet okay?
Your internet seems to be okay, my friend. What's the word?
Okay. The point I was talking about Trump is his character. He can destroy his
Whoa,
own chances of winning.
wait, Ray. Before we have this conversation, I'm curious. Are you an American citizen?
No.
Then what makes you think you can criticize our president?
That's a logical fallacy. You can criticize something that is wrong,
I'm sorry?
even not American
No.
president.
You
You
didn't
can
answer. You didn't answer the question, Ray. What
yeah,
makes
I
you think?
answered. Yeah,
What makes
yes.
you? No. We gonna have this conversation. What makes you think
Okay.
you can? Listen. I'm not a fan of Obama. I'm not a fan of Hillary
Mm,
Clinton. I'm not a
mm,
fan of Kamala Harris. Listen, as a matter of fact, let's talk about a current vice president. I absolutely despise AOC and Kamala Harris, right? But I'm not going to let somebody that is not an American citizen criticize my people. Now, that's almost like, my sister pissed me off, and I'm going to call my sister a hoe for being a hoe. But you not going to call my sister a hoe for being a hoe. Ray, what makes y'all think that y'all should have a vested interest in what we do over here in American politics?
Yeah, because you have access to the same information we are talking about. We are talking about an issue.
You don't
What
live
was
here
just
though.
looked objectively. Doesn't matter. We want to talk about a
You don't
situation
live here,
objectively.
Ray. You don't live here, Ray.
I'm not. I can make an opinion on facts. I'm not giving up. I'm not saying my
Who,
own
where
emotions.
do you stay at, Ray?
Nigeria.
Why
I,
don't you have a vested interest in what goes on in Nigerian politics?
I do. I'm here. I do. I'm here. I'm
So,
making a part of this thing.
why do you care about what it is that we got going on here in America?
I'm making a commentary on it.
Are you looking to
A
come
lot of people
here?
that make.
Are you looking to come here, Ray? Is that what it is?
I have people in America.
Are you looking to
Not,
come here, Ray?
it's complex. My mother's an American citizen, so it
Is that a
depends.
yes or a no?
I have
Is that a yes or a no?
yes,
So you're
yes, yes,
looking
yes.
to come over here to America.
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
So Ray, you should just be grateful. You should just be grateful that you even have the opportunity to come to this phenomenal land, this awesome land that is
No,
America.
no, no. We are going off topic. I'm not saying America. I'm
You
not
can't
making like a
you can't
very
control.
big.
Wait, Ray. What makes you think you can control me on my platform?
I'm not controlling. I'm saying that you're going off what I'm saying. That's not what I'm talking about.
It
It's
doesn't.
like you're
What you
talking about.
saying don't, Ray. That's like you sitting
Okay.
here telling me how it is that I should deal with my wife.
No, 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 no.
That's my chick.
I'm
You don't have no
no,
say so on what goes on over here, baby boy.
no.
You
I'm not saying how you should
listen.
vote.
You blessed. You blessed to even be in a conversation in the first place, man.
I'm not saying how you should vote. I'm talking about the facts of somebody. Obama is a, if I say that Obama speaks well, that's because he speaks well. It doesn't matter that I'm American or Nigerian. I'm saying something that is fact, that is objective fact, and we can talk about that. If you said who should you vote for, I'm not saying who you should vote for. I'm saying we're having a discussion on objective facts. So that's what I'm
Right,
talking
right,
about.
right, 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 right. With all due respect, we don't care about what Nigerians think about our white president. We love our white men over here. We don't care about what y'all think about our president. That's our white man, not yours.
Yeah, well, we have to make an opinion. It's basically foreign affairs. Have you never
Ray,
had a foreign affairs discussion
you should
before?
be more focused on Nigerian politics and trying to stay in your own country than come over here and try to tell us what it is that we supposed to do.
I didn't say what you're supposed to do. I never said that. I never tell you what you're supposed to do. That's if you read
You
my
did
comments,
you
I've never
you
said that you're
said
supposed to.
you said that he is the
Yeah.
worst candidate that could win.
Yes, the worst point that could
You will
win.
not be talking about my beloved hairpiece wearing, billionaire marketing, real estate, sell you a pen, fly on a plane, and make sure that he get all of the tax write-offs. President, white man. You will not be the one to tell us this. We don't necessarily need to hear that from you, Ray.
I want him to win, but I'm at the
You
same
want who
time
to
he's still
win?
the worst. Trump, of course, I want Trump to win.
Why did you say he the worst candidate to win then?
Yeah, because the same person that can make himself lose. Trump is his own best enemy. He's the same person that will sink his
See,
own
Ray,
boat
you're
into
gonna bring
it.
it out
That's
of
the
me.
whole point.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna entertain you for a second. Go ahead. Tell me your
Okay.
opinion.
Okay. There are a lot of voting blocks that Trump can get people, and he's going to sabotage it. E.g., building the borders. Trump is going to slow walk it, and it's going to make a lot of mistakes. Another key thing that we are seeing here again is ballot harvesting. In these midterms, a lot of ballot harvesting techniques have been going on, and Trump has never taken any effort to stop the ballot harvesting.
Ray,
We
Ray,
have
Ray, 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 Ray. We not gonna hear it from a Nigerian.
You're not going to hear about ballot harvesting from a Nigerian that makes Republicans lose. Is that
Ray,
what you're trying to say?
Ray. We're not gonna hear it from a Nigerian. Now, what I'm gonna need you to do, Ray, is I'm gonna need you to focus on Nigerian politics and making that your country a little bit better, my friend.
I'm making a objective discussion on what people can do. Anybody can make it objective
No,
assessment.
no, 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 my friend. See, let me tell you something, Ray. What we've been experiencing here in the United States of the Americas is we've been experiencing a lot of people that feel like they can have an opinion on what it is that we do in our house, Ray. And we's not
Why
having
not?
that. We's good, honest, black and white folks, white, HWI or HWYTE, us good, black and white folks, we gonna determine what goes on in the good old United States of the Americas. Now, what I'm gonna need you to do, Ray, is be thankful that Anton from AntonDaniels.com is even considering going to visit a lot of these countries and a lot of these shithole places that we don't have to go and put all of our American resources into in order to make sure that y'all pirates ain't out here stealing, killing, and willing and dealing. What is Nigerians known for, Ray, over in that country? Ray, we gonna put up some more borders. We's not having it over here in the good old United States of America.
I didn't get you. I kind of broke up.
See, you can't even hear what we's talking about because you can't understand the dialect.
Uh,
You got
yeah,
that?
I can hear you now.
You got that?
Yeah,
Ray? You got that, Ray?
yeah.
All right.
Why not?
All right, Ray. Listen, I appreciate you for coming up, but we's gonna have this conversation with the Americans. You're more than welcome to stay and observe the show and hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, Ray. But more importantly, I need you to simmer down, young man, and let us go ahead and have this conversation. You have a good old day here. You get it?
No, I'll be.
Oh no. We won't have anybody sitting here wanting to get the last word, wanting to be sassy, catty, and loose on my platform. You hear? You hear, Ray? You thought you was gonna get the last word, and I had to. Nas Ray, I need you to get yourself together and remove yourself from American politics. You have no say-so in this country, my friend. I like you, but I need you to go ahead and simmer down. Let me go ahead and get some of these super chats. These good old American folk over here. Our Payne says, thanks for the answer, Anton. In fact, I sent you my piece on why I think be Americans should divest from Democrats as a bloc. Thank you, R. Payne. I appreciate you for joining in on the conversation. Adonis says, I served the corps from 08 to 012 or to 12. And I don't vouch for that argument. Trump didn't start any wars while in office. Alex is just a dim at heart. Interesting. Seraphenia says, thank you. I appreciate you too. Thank you, Seraphenia. I love you. Adonis says, on a global level, he has an opinion. Being a citizen doesn't change the global impact of the presidency. The presidency affects us, yes, also the world. Well, we are going to determine what happens here in America, and then you can get your legislative branches to fight for you on your behalf on what happens. But I don't care whether or not people have an opinion or not that are not American citizens and that did not have any kind of vote whatsoever as to what it is that we have to do. Also, JDM Wizard says when they talk about character, they obviously don't know what goes on behind doors with Joe and Kamala. Oh, and Hunter. Trump doesn't have a Hunter son. Very interesting. Hotep Abdullah says he is looking to come here and exploit the ignorance of our people. They are not one of us. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Donatella says he is proof of the power of media. Stay woke, y'all. Directed by Jabrizzi. Shout out to Jabrizzi. Says Hollywood loves to use a lot of foreigners to push certain agendas. American wouldn't do to the lack of knowledge they have about the country. Shout out to the director. Lil Black Duck 2001 says a counter to Alex's point is that military heads lied to Trump when they were looking to pull troops out of Syria by hiding the number of troops. That's egregious. Voice of Reason says, like I said earlier, here comes the demon time, Anton. Also, Neo Moses says, Kay sent her uncle in Nigeria to come speak here. Let's see if we can get somebody else that can substantiate what it is that's going on here on The Price is Right. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Chilling, my friend. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm doing good. Let me give you a background from my perspective. I started off as a staunch Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I served in the military for 8 years, and I
Thank
usually
you for
made
your
fun of
service,
any
my friend.
Democrat.
Thank you for your service.
I usually made fun of any Democrat that was in the military that voted Democrat because we were guaranteed to get a pay cut every year that there was a Democrat in office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I come from a Republican side of the house, even though I'm going to date myself when Ross Perot was running for president. I switched from the Republican Party to independent.
Okay. Shout out to the
Okay,
Ross Perot, the
and
Ross
I've been
Perot.
exactly, and I've been an independent ever since then. So
Okay.
I look at both sides of the fence. I don't have a dog in the fight. I look at the person. I look at the politics and the different things that are going on. Obviously, my biggest thing that I look at is foreign policy.
Mm-hmm.
I need somebody that's going to be in that office is going to be intimidating enough to every other country to think that they can come over here in America and do something that they're going to feel the full sting of what America has to offer.
So wait a minute. You sound like you don't want a woman to become president. Is that true?
Hey, women, I'm telling you, women are evil. Think
Well,
about it.
we know that they're
They could
evil,
be
but we
some of
also
your
know that
worst,
they're
they could be
emotional.
some of your worst enemies. Women
Oh,
can
wait,
be
wait,
some of
wait,
your
wait,
worst
wait,
enemies.
wait, 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 Alex.
Opposed to it. Listen, let me
Alex,
finish.
Alex,
I'm not
Alex. Hold
opposed
on,
to it,
Alex,
but I'm
Alex,
not for it.
Alex. A
Go
child,
ahead.
a child can be evil. That does not mean that other countries and their world leaders fear them.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I'm not arguing that point.
But would you want a
Plus,
woman to
women
be
are more
president?
emotional. Women are more emotional as well.
Would you
They're
want a
not
woman to be
analytical.
president?
No, not that I see coming up. I don't see any woman that could actually
Would you want any
stand the
woman?
test to
And
become
let's just say
president.
that they embodied all of the characteristics of a person that you would want to be president. Would you let her be president? Would you want her to be president?
I'm not opposed to it if they're doing everything right for the country.
Oh, Alex. All right, I'm gonna let you get to your point. I just wanted to understand where you were on this subject, but go ahead.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm not a male chauvinist when it comes to things like that. You know
I,
what I mean?
I,
But at the end of the day, I prefer a man to be running the head of the ship.
I am.
So, okay,
I'm a chauvinist. Listen, I'm whatever
go ahead.
label that people want to make that makes it seems like men are toxic or their thoughts about where a woman and a man should stand as far as gender roles. Whatever it is that they believe that men should be labeled as, that's fine. Call me what you want. But at the same time, I do not believe, and I think that women are out of character by taking on leadership roles, especially leader of the free world. That's egregious.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Oh my God, Alex. Okay, go ahead. Let's get to it, Alex. What are your thoughts?
No, my basic thoughts is, when Trump was in office, and if you know anything about political agendas and laws being passed, how long, in your mind, does it take for a law once it's passed by the Senate to actually be enacted?
I'm not sure. I can't answer that question. I do
It
not
takes
know.
anywhere from 2 to 4 years.
Okay, 2 to 4 years. Okay.
So half of the time when you get a secondary president in office that don't get to run back to back, sometimes those presidents get to take advantage of other presidents' work.
I agree.
Okay. So just like unfortunately Perot split the vote for Daddy Bush, and Bill Clinton got to go in office, and he wound up benefiting from all the different laws that were enacted during the 2 terms of Daddy Bush. You agree?
It depends on what laws you're speaking of. I'd have to know exactly what it is that you're talking about.
Well, the ones that he took
Because
credit
I would
for,
say that during the
basically.
during the Clinton administration, the housing crisis was manufactured.
It started then, and so did 3 strikes. That was his agenda,
I
the
agree.
3 strikes law. Okay, but before then, he was able to take advantage of some of the laws that were passed by Bush.
Like
There
what?
were some good years in there.
Like what?
I don't know. I can't specifically say it right now because my memory is nowhere close to where
Well,
it
then
used to be.
you can't substantiate that argument. I'm not going to let you be able to substantiate that argument if you can't be specific, because you
I mean,
can't
if
set
somebody Google it
laws that
for
they
me,
can't.
I'm right now. I'm on a broadcast with you. I can't go and Google it myself to give you that basic information.
Well, you can give me a
But
general idea of what you're referring to. You was easily able to reference the three strikes law.
because that was one of the worst things he could have possibly done to the people,
Well,
especially
okay,
black
so
people.
here's the question though. Here's the question. What is your opinion on Trump?
He's not the guy.
Why?
He is not the man to run this country.
Why?
Not only ethically, morally, and the things he stands for overall
So you're a
are not
feeling type of guy.
beneficial. Wait, no, I'm not a feeling kind of guy. The things he stands for overall are not beneficial to the country being unified.
What specifically,
You know,
ethically and morally, did he do while president that would lead you to believe that he's not the person that
so
should
you don't believe he's a racist?
what?
You don't believe he's a racist?
No. And the reason why I don't believe that he's a racist is because he's actually benefited black people more than any other president before him, including President Obama.
How so?
Because President Obama did nothing in the benefit of black people, and specifically his agenda was more closely aligned with the alphabet community than black people. Whereas Trump, at the very least, gave black people a chance, especially when you consider all of his investments in opportunity zones. You're not familiar with that. He was the biggest contributor to historically black colleges. You don't want to take that into consideration. He absolutely told you the truth, which is what black people are missing. And he said that all of the things that has come before you, as far as the Democratic Party tethering you to their party in order to continue to keep you subservient and docile, has been the worst for you. Your schools is fucked up. Your neighborhoods is fucked up. And so he's been the president in a short amount of years that actually advocated for, allocated resources for, and continued to invest in the black community. More importantly, he pardoned more people, more black people during his term than any other president before him, including our former mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, who I'm supposed to interview on Monday.
Okay.
You don't have
So
anything to
the
dispute
things
that?
that he's done, I'm not going to dispute anything because I can't. I don't know all the basis of where you're coming out with everything that's being said, just like you
What do you
can't
mean?
dissect
All of this is
anything.
public information. This is nothing that I'm saying crazy.
Same thing I was saying about Clinton. It's public information, but I don't have access to it right now, so I can't verify what you're telling me is true.
Come on, man.
It's coming from your information,
But
right?
okay, but you asked me how. I gave you how. Now you have to
You did.
substantiate. Now you have to substantiate for me how he was bad, how he was morally and ethically bad for black people. Since you asked me the question as to how he
Okay.
was good for black people, I need you to help me to understand how he was bad for black people.
What does Make America Great Again
Wait, wait, wait,
stand
wait,
for?
wait, 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 wait. You can't answer a question with a question. When you asked me a direct question,
Sure.
I answered it. Now you have to
MAGA,
answer
Make
it direct.
America
You
Great.
can't answer a
Listen,
question
listen.
with a question. You
Okay,
have
I'm
to
going to
answer
answer
the
the question.
question.
I'm going to answer the question. MAGA, the way he started off with is Make America Great Again. The reference point of that is also white supremacy.
Oh, fucking.
As far as the background to going backwards in history when it comes to equal rights among the people. Why do you think the alt-right went behind him and started following him and became MAGA supporters?
What do being a MAGA supporter have to do with being black? And what specifically did he do to take back black people backwards or do anything atrocious against black people? What did he do? Give me a law. Give me something that he said. Give me something that he enacted. Anything. Because I gave you several different things that anybody can go through and replay this and go and research. Give me anything.
I
Anything
will
that he
do.
did that was against black people.
I can't give you any facts right at this moment. I would have to go and do some research.
Meanwhile, the
Beside for,
president that you have right now has done plenty
I,
of egregious things.
I didn't vote for him.
Who do you vote? Who did you vote for?
I voted for an independent.
Who?
You want me to remember 4 years? I can't.
Oh, come on, Alex. You're going to have to do better than that, man. You're not going to sit here and bamboozle me. Who did you vote? You know who you voted for. As a matter of fact, listen, I know everybody I stumped for. I know every dollar that I gave to specific campaigns. I know specific issues that people were talking about at that particular time. You can reference all of these different things that happened as far as all of back and Bush, and you talking about the laws that happened back in the early 90s and things like that, but you don't even remember who you voted for less than 2 years ago? And that was not 4 years ago. It was less than 2 years ago. Who did you vote for,
Exactly.
Alex?
I can't tell you that. I don't know.
Oh, Alex. Alex.
You're gonna put me on the spot. I can't tell you exactly.
Alex, you put me on the spot and you asked me a question. I'm putting you on the spot.
Hey, you're used to this. This is the first time for me being on your channel
Oh
like this.
no, Alex.
You put the
Alex.
pressure on me.
Alex, you're
Like,
not gonna hit me with the fake news. You're not gonna hit me with the ooh shebang tonight. You're gonna have to give me a real answer, Alex. I'm not letting you slip on this. I'm not letting you just skate away. Who did you vote for,
I would
Alex?
have to. I'm serious. You would have to tell me who the candidates were for presidency at the time before I could tell you who it
Alex.
was.
Alex.
I don't remember. Dude, I'm telling you, I do not remember. And the reason I'm going to tell you I don't remember, Anton, because I suffer from PTSD. Okay, so
Alex,
I
you're
have
not gonna
remembered.
finesse me. You're not gonna lean on. You're not gonna lean on.
You
Alex.
tell me.
Alex. Alex, I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you're just gonna sit here
I,
and torpedo yourself like this. You don't
I
have to
torpedo
listen.
myself,
Listen,
but that's
Alex.
the truth. The God's honest
Alex.
truth.
Alex, you don't have to down the shore, Alex. Alex, you don't have to down the shore, Alex. I'm gonna need you to be able to substantiate your argument or concede. You don't have to down this shore,
Hey,
Alex.
I'm not too proud to not concede, brother. Let me tell you that. Okay, I
Alex.
can always learn from somebody. So if
Alex.
I have to concede, then I'm going to concede. But
There's
I
two
can't
there's two
exactly tell you
questions that's
who
on
it
the floor, Alex, that you didn't answer, sir. And the first
is.
question
Okay,
was, what did Trump do that was bad for black people? That's number one. And number two,
I told
who did
you,
you vote
his
for,
stance on the party.
Alex? Alex, who did you vote for? Come on, Alex. Don't you act like you lagging out on me. Don't you
No,
unplug
I'm
the
not
internet
lagging out.
on me. Alex, let me
I'm
tell you
not
something.
gonna
Let
unplug the
me
internet.
tell you something that we used to do back in the day when Xbox Live first came out. When Xbox
Here it
Live first
comes.
came
Oh,
out,
you talking
C
about
A
lag,
C A M
lag
E D.
switching?
When Xbox Live first came out, in order for us to be able to save our record, and thankfully Xbox has fixed this now. In order for us to be able to save our record, we would just pull the Ethernet cord out of the wall so that we could turn off the router.
I'm not so old. I
This is
don't
this
understand
is
what
what
lag
I think
switching
you're
is.
trying to do to me, Alex.
I understand what lag switching is. I'm not that old.
So you know
But that's
all of this stuff, but you can't substantiate who you voted for. Did you vote for Kanye? Who did you vote for, Alex?
I just told you I can't remember.
Alex, Alex, Alex,
It
Alex.
wasn't Trump.
So just tell Alex, just tell us. You don't
I
like,
don't.
you
I
don't
was in the
like.
vote.
Alex, I'd be willing to bet my left nut
What's that?
you benefited significantly as a result of Trump becoming president. And you have no respect for this honorable white man that is sitting in front of you, Alex, all because you emotional. And then you first came up here talking
Emotional.
about you wouldn't mind a white woman. Well, you didn't say white, but a woman being president of the United States of America. Alex, why are you so docile?
Qualified.
Alex, why are you so docile?
Specify. Listen. Specify qualified woman. I didn't
Like
say
who?
anyone.
Like who? Like who?
I just told you there was no woman currently in any political space that's qualified.
Alex, let me tell you something. I think you
Say
would vote for a woman over Trump, even though you don't have a leg to stand on for this good white man.
that. You call them good, and I can have a secondary opinion. We can always agree to
Well,
disagree,
Alex,
Anton.
you have not told me anything. You have not answered question number one. And question number one is what is it that he did that was so bad for black people? What makes him bad?
Like I
Alex,
said,
don't you
anything I say
don't you
right
stare don't you stare at my eyes like you want to come over here
listen,
and
bruh, anything I say right now, if it's not substantiated by your terms as being verifiable,
you didn't say
you're
anything.
not going to agree with it.
You didn't say
But the whole
anything.
thing is,
Alex,
I
you didn't
can't
answer
say
the
anything
question.
without going to Google and telling you exactly what he did wrong.
Alex, you have not said anything. I said that Trump
I don't agree with you, so that's what I'm saying.
overwhelmingly supported historical black colleges. Trump has
Everybody's trying to give me an answer to the question.
Trump has invested in opportunity zones. Like I have given you hit after hit after hit after hit, and you have not been able to substantiate by your claim
This
that
is
he
your
is not good for black
view.
people by answering one question. You no,
Anton, I
Alex,
can't
Alex,
believe a
Alex,
man of your intelligence
Alex,
doesn't come on the
Alex,
show
Alex, Alex,
prepared
Alex,
to answer
Alex.
questions.
I'm gonna give you the X back in your name when you start answering questions. So, Alex,
I'm from the
Alex,
East Coast. You can leave the K in there.
Alex, Alex,
That's
Alex.
all good.
You cannot make a claim on any of our good white American presidents and then not be able to substantiate your argument. I need you, Alex, to tell me what is it that he's done that is bad for black people specifically because you made that statement and I did not forget. Let me see my baby one more time while Alex
Right.
is over
To
here
me,
trying
like
to
I
figure
said,
out what
the
the
man is morally inept, and I just personally don't like him. Whether that's based on any kind of fact, I just don't like the man.
So you just don't like look at this good American baby. Look at this good
Nice.
American baby right here, Alex.
Whose baby is it? He's a cutie. Whose baby is
My American baby has said that Allie, you have failed the test of being a
like that?
strong American that can substantiate your argument. And this baby does not like what it is that you're saying right now, Allie.
Hey, I'm going to concede to the baby.
Allie, this is a good American baby right here.
Hey, I'm conceding to the baby, Anton. I'm conceding to the baby.
Allie, I'm gonna need you to go
But
home.
anything, look, I'm going to study up because I know the way you are. You're not. You're a very
Somebody go get
intelligent
my
man.
American
You're
flag.
very Anton, I got flags behind me too, brother.
You
So
you take
here's
yours
the thing.
down. You take yours down. You give
Oh,
me
no.
take your flag down. Take your flag down, Allie.
I got flags behind me too. Now, where'd he go?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Allie, you are
Bro,
not
don't
the
make me
Amer-
go get mine.
Allie,
Don't make
you
me
are
go get
not
mine.
the American that I
Listen,
thought you were.
listen, I'm gonna tell you this. If I go get mine came from the Gulf War, so it actually was settled.
Allie. We appreciate your service, but I'm gonna have to
All
let
right.
you go. These people are not Americans. They are not the Americans that we thought that they were. This strong country, this strong, beautiful country, these people are not American, okay? They do not represent the interests of the American people. And my good friend Patriarchy is here with
What's going on, man? Alex got a flag. Alex got some rainbow flags behind him. I don't know why you put that baby up there. You know Alex hate babies, man. You know they pro-abortion. You know they pro-abortion on that side. Did you hear his when he said how a bill became a law? That is completely not true at all. He completely disregarded executive orders and like the executive powers of the president. Like I don't understand what he's talking about at all. I wish
You
he would
know
stay
what?
on it.
I appreciate him for his service, but then at the same time, I don't know what to do with these guys that can't substantiate their argument. Maybe we can bring somebody else that can help us out. Mr. Payne, I'm gonna need you to turn your camera around so that we can see you more effectively because we're
Hello,
looking at you from the side.
how you doing?
Mr. Payne, I'm gonna need you to flip your camera around, sir.
All right. Let's see if this works. All right. There you go. Oh, that's not better, huh? How do I get this right?
There you
There you
go.
go.
Still
There
manage.
you go.
There you go.
All right. What's happening, brother?
What's going on? How you doing, my friend, Mr. Payne?
Hey, man. I sent you a couple of super chats.
I
One
appreciate
of
it.
the things I want to say. One of the things I want to say to you is I'm one of those black guys who not try to convince. I talk to all the black people I know, saying that the biggest detriment to the
Sorry
black
to hear that.
community is our unfettered support of the Democratic Party.
Mm.
We need to become, matter of fact, I think we should spearhead an independent movement, not just be part of one. Even this last election, it was the swing votes that made all the difference. People were, whether they were Democrat or Republican, they had to make a choice to go against the party to put the right people in office. And even if some of those people were Democrats, it was made out of a thought process other than fear. Black people vote Democratic just out of fear all the time,
Hmm.
all the time. Because you ask them, you talk to black people about why the Democrats, they give you all this horse crap about, racism, the victim Olympics, and all of this kind of crap. And it's time for us to move past that. I mean, what else can they do to us besides exterminate us? They put us in slavery in 150 years. We've really made a lot of accomplishments. Every black man I know, because I'm an engineer,
Hmm.
makes at least 3 to X amount of time of money than the average white man. So how are you going to sit down here and talk about how oppressed we are when you make 3 to 5 to 10 more times money than the average white man?
Hmm.
Right? What I'm saying? Against all odds, how can racism be our biggest thing when we got so many rich and successful black people in the middle class and above?
Let me
It
get
don't make sense to me.
Stan's perspective. Stan, what are your thoughts here? You got to unmute yourself, Stan.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is for Jordan, and it's good to talk to you again, Anton. That's for Jordan, my brother. Can you hear me?
Shout out to you talking about Michael Jordan?
No, Jordan. That's in the comments.
Oh, Jordan, that's in the comments. I was like, I didn't catch
Yeah,
the relevance.
and that's what the flag looks like.
Interesting.
Jordan is in the comments.
So
The mate.
what are your thoughts, Stan?
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on this issue?
yeah. But my thing is, my thoughts is, it's not that Trump is a bad guy, right? And is that he is the best thing that could happen is that based on what we've seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
33 years of military service, is that he just got to tailor things a little bit. He would have won the last election, but people got mad at him because he got too cocky. Because everything benefited the
Do you like
military
him
in the
as a
civilian world
do you agree
benefited
with his policies and what he stands for and things like that?
a lot of them.
Don't Stan, you don't have to be scared, man. Just tell us what you really think, my friend.
Man, I'm hearing a bunch of
This is the
echoing.
United States of the
I know
America.
I'm hearing a bunch of echoing, so it's
You got to
delayed.
take out
Man, I'm
your
not scared.
AirPods. You
I'm
got to take
hearing a
out your
bunch of
AirPods.
echoing.
You got to take out your AirPods. Turn down your YouTube. Take out your AirPods.
Oh, okay, let me do this. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You got to turn down the YouTube, big dog. You listen to
I
the
can't hear
YouTube.
you.
May I say something really quick?
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute you, Stan, until you figure that out.
Hey,
Go
you
ahead.
hear me
Go ahead,
now?
Patrick. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
You know,
No,
one
no,
of the
nah, man. I'm never scared. No, it's just that.
You got to turn down the YouTube.
Am I?
can I
I
speak
keep
really
getting
quick?
Use
echoes.
echo cancellation if you can.
Okay. May I speak really quick? Just I
Go
want to
ahead,
make a really quick
patriarchy.
point. One of the things I really can't stand
Okay.
is these
I'm
people
gonna
who
go out and
sit
come back
around.
in, Anton.
Go ahead,
One of
Patriot.
these people, one of the things I really can't stand, and it almost makes my stomach turn, right? Is, and I don't think that these people, I think that most of the people that say this are closet liberals. Well, if Donald Trump would have just talked nicer, then we would have won the vote. If Donald Trump would have just edited himself, we would have won the vote, right? They have this belief that if we somehow place people's feelings first, then that will make people like us and we will win, right? We have to win people over by them getting to like us. When the transformer community is pushing their agenda on your kids, they don't care about whether or not you like them.
Mm-hmm.
When the illegals are hopping the border and stealing resources from America, they don't care about whether or not you like them. When a certain community who canceled Kanye did what they did, they don't care about whether or not you like them. So the left never cares about what people think. They push their agenda regardless. And I'm tired of people with this whole, well, we just need to be nicer to people. I don't believe in that at all. These other agendas and movements, AOC is not sitting around saying, how can I be nicer to people who don't like me? Ilhan Omar is not sitting around saying, how can I be nicer to people who don't like me? They try to get Republicans to dumb themselves down to try to pander to people and basically subvert their movements. Anton, I think you're muted.
I'm sorry. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. What are your thoughts, Ray? Ray, can you hear us? Ray, you look confused, my friend. Can you hear us, Ray? Ray going once. I can't hear you, Ray.
And he'll get it together.
Ray, I can't hear you. Ray going once. Ray going once. Ray going twice. Ray going twice. I can't hear you. Ray is sold. What's going
Yeah.
on, Illuminated? What's your thoughts? Illuminated, can you hear me?
What's up, Anton?
What's going on, my
Patriarch,
brother?
what's going on?
What's
What's
going on, man?
happening? What are your thoughts?
I don't know what's going on with my phone, but I'm just going to jump off right quick. And I want to hold up everybody because I know you're kind of busy. I really believe what Patriarch is saying is a lot of times we want the good leaders, the leaders that are politically correct. And what people don't understand, when that man came into office, he broke the mold, and the mold is now shattered, and it cannot be put back together. So with the Democrats only coming out with a turnout of an average about 17% just alone in Arizona, let you know what time it is. I'm not going to go anything further in detail into that. But other than this, this is what America wanted. Remember what God said to what Nebuchadnezzar said, it is God who sets up one and brings down another.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we got. This is what we're dealing with. So come next year, we're going to see who's who and what's what. There are some people that are speaking certain things they're going to come into light, and I just hope people are prepared and ready for what's about to be revealed. Because from an esoteric standpoint, and Patriarch probably knows this also, 23 is the number of death. 22 is the number of light making manifest, and in biblical grammar, 21 is exceedingly sinfulness of sin. So what we did was we had a lot of sin that happened in 2021. 2022, a lot of things have come to light, and then next year, sad to say it, I don't like saying it, but you're going to see a lot of people that are going to expire. That's how I'll put it like that, and that even deals with the political arena because you cannot mock God and think that God is not going to judge you. They're doing a new thing now between now, November 6th to November 18th, called the New Ten Commandments. They are currently on Mount Sinai issuing a new commandments according to the Green New Deal and climate change. So y'all do your research and check that out. And all I can ask you guys to do is just pray. That's the only thing I can ask you brothers to do is just pray, because it's about to get ugly. And when Patriarch used to say this, and I didn't want to accept it, and even you had Fantastic said on your broadcast, it's a freaking rescue mission. I didn't want to admit it. You know, I was trying to hold on to the last minute of hope, but it's like people just don't get it. So next year you're going to see those who participated in the pandemic willingly, blindly. You're going to see the results of what they did by the decisions that they made, and that's all I'm going to say on that. So God bless you, Anton, you too, Patriarch, and just pray for this nation and pray for that God's opens up people's eyes and their understanding, because brother, it's about to get ugly. And people just don't realize it's about. And Patriarch used to say this: "Hey, we're done, we're gone." I was like, Patriarch, don't say that, man. There's still a glimmer of hope. But after this last election and seeing the way people voted, hey, you're gonna get what you deserve. And
Did they
I'm
really
sorry, you
vote
used to
that
say this,
way?
Anton. I said, man, Anton, don't say that either. Hey, it is what it is, and you know, a lot of people ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna get on the boat. So, God bless you. I'll let somebody else jump on, bro. Love you guys. God bless, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you for coming through. What do you think about what he said, Patriarchy?
Well, I think there's a couple things. Number one, I'm always going to side with Christ and Christianity. Um, but I mean, it's funny because he kind of agreed with my perspectives on things about how some people just got to move on. Some people are never going to be saved. People just got to move on. Like, even when people are like, well, black people still voted 90%. Well, okay, if there came a choice for you saving yourself or being a follower of all black people and going into the fire,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do? Like, you can't say, there's some people you just cannot save. Like, you just got to move forward and then take it from there. But I get what he was saying. I mean, I think that he's looking at things more realistically. Um, and I think you just have to adapt with the times, especially. But I don't think that what he said in terms of voting, and I don't want to get the channel taken down, but come on, man. Like, voting now is like raffling for Air Jordans. Like, it's all bots. Literally.
What's going on, Cutler? What's happening, bro? What's your thoughts? You said what now?
Hear me?
I can hear you.
Love to the channel, of course, man. But I just think that right now, we're in a time where, we are really, as America, we're looked at as a joke. I mean, look at who we got in office right now. We have somebody in office who's definitely just like, he gets taken out, Kamala's gonna be in charge. It's kind of like it's open season on America right now. And I don't think people understand, because it wasn't put in the media, that when Trump was in office, the things that he was doing to keep other nations off our back was not publicized. The way he had his foot, our foot was on China's neck for the first time in when, right? So like, it's the things he was doing for our nation just aren't spoke about enough. And like right now, since seeing his speech last night, I honestly feel like I feel more optimistic now, but I know that it's gonna take a method of dirty in a way, because to me the left has been
Yeah.
playing very dirty.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amount of just like doing what we have to do. It's not about pulling on no heartstrings. That's their game. Let that be their game. Let them pull on people's heartstrings. We win by logic, facts, and really just gaining the people's vote that we need to do. So I mean, I'm all for Trump's candidacy, and I'm feeling a little more optimistic. Let me just say that much.
I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not, because, like, for example, what I seen during this midterm election, um, I really did believe it was gonna be a red wave, and it wasn't. It wasn't. And I think that more of this country and more of society um, is more of a reflection of who it is that we currently have in office. I really do. I think it's more of a reflection of who we already have in office. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to do my part or I'm not going to vote or anything like that. But then at the same time, um, I just don't think it's going to be a slam dunk. I think that everything that you wind up getting, as far as who it is that you elect, whether or not, and I'm not even just talking about national elections. I'm talking about on every level. You're gonna have to fight, scratch, and claw, put your money up, and really get out and do what it is that you got to do. And so, you just can't take it lightly. If this midterm election taught us anything, in which, in my opinion, we got the worst possible candidate in Michigan specifically, as far as governor getting reelected, it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna genuinely be a fight.
Well, well, let me say this, right? The people, from what I'm looking at, the people who tank these midterms, who benefits from the Republicans losing? Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell was pulling funding from a lot of these elections right before the dates. In Arizona, right? They had a governor, the Republican governor, the Republican establishment did not even give, or the former Republican governor did not even give Kerry Lake the endorsement. So tell me, how in Georgia does Brian Kemp blow Stacey Abrams out of the water from a bigger margin than last time, but
Yeah.
yet Herschel Walker's got to go to a runoff? How does that happen? It happens because Brian Kemp was also the same person during 2020 who had an issue with Donald Trump. And these people, how many states are still under COVID rules when it comes to voting? That was one of the best things I heard from Donald Trump last night, was reforming the voting process. How many of these states are still using the same old COVID mail-in voting, no voter ID for these votes? In a lot of places, these are Republican governors who are not putting the hammer down. And these are Republican governors who have a problem with Donald Trump. So
You also got to
What are your
understand
thoughts,
too.
Stan? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. And then after you, I'm gonna come to Stan. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I'll be real quick, but you also got to understand Donald Trump changed the GOP. Like he really he brought the party back. There's that not agreeing with Donald Trump. There's a lot of GOP members that don't trust his leadership because they know that he's going against the real establishment of what it is. So like they know that they're not going to agree. Like people like Brian Kemp, um, uh, certain individuals that are just in the party. Mitch McConnell definitely being one of them. Also, just aren't really taking his leadership because he did something that nobody else has ever done. So I think that that's something that is needed for times like right now. Donald Trump, if anything, is a wartime president, and we're at war. So
And what are your thoughts, Stan? What
that's
was you
my
What was
thought.
you about to say?
Hey, Anton, I want to reverse back a little bit when you started off earlier, right? And you were saying about how people need to deal with their resources, right? And you need to buckle down because it's getting ready to come down, right? And just like Illuminated said earlier in Patriotic, he always says it, man. You got to be prepared for what's coming, and it's going to be real ugly next year. It's going to be real ugly no matter what happens. So we need to prepare for it. And we can play the election game. It's going to be years before we can change presidency, right? And that becomes an issue, right? And so people are choosing sides, but at the end of the day, we got to cover down. That's why your program is very important, Fight Club, and when patriarchy come in, and I've seen he's changed his tone. I think somebody called it out several episodes ago, and no patriarchy. He sees what's really coming forward, And that's why Illuminated respect them as well. Because, and Anton, you said it earlier, brother. You say, hey, man, y'all better get it together. Hey, man, we can play all we want, but we got to get it together because it's getting ready to come down. And if you're not prepared for it, man, it's going to take you out. So that's my stance on it. And bro, Anton, keep doing what you're doing, Patriarch. He shift his mood because normally he goes in and he do all this stuff, and they called him out a few days ago, and he said,
No,
what made him change?
if you come here with the nonsense, I'll get you. I mean, we just had the guy that was adopted
Right,
like 2 episodes ago. But yeah, if you cool, I'm cool. You know?
right. Yeah, no, but you started talking about more serious, and you light and focus, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, I
Cut
mean,
with
I love Donald
precision.
Trump, man. I love Donald
I
Trump,
know,
bro.
but
I'm a
I'm talking about a few
Trump
days
guy.
ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A few days ago, you would cut with precision. They said, "Why are you changing, bro? You can see the storm coming."
Yeah, no, I do, man. I do.
Uh,
Um, yeah, man. No, I mean, the only person that can help us, I do believe that this is my opinion, that there is no political solution for everything that we see going on. I think that your only solution is Jesus Christ. But I think Jesus can work through certain people. And when I see Donald Trump, and one of the best things Donald Trump said last night, um, and it sounded like what I heard from Farrakhan a week ago, was we are going up against a foul and corrupt system. And that's exactly what this is, right? We have people
right.
who have been on top, who have had power, and they had no benevolence to anyone around them. They wanted to sit on power and hoard power, right? So they would flood in illegals over the American worker, right? They would let their women basically become corporate drones of filth, right? And didn't care about the American family, didn't care about the American worker, didn't care about the fact that the average person coming out of college couldn't afford a home. They don't care about building things, right? They don't care about the sovereignty of a nation. They only care about their benefit. And, when Donald Trump said that, I also realize he's taken on other parts. I mean, we can talk about China all day, we can talk about Russia, whatever, but let's talk about the FBI and how many foul things the FBI has done. I personally believe that the biggest enemy to the American people is within our country, not in China, not in Russia, not in Ukraine, not in
Within our
Europe,
borders. Within
within
our
our
borders.
own borders, right? And
Right.
our military industrial complex is absolutely ridiculous. Our intelligence community has gotten completely off the rails. And the funny thing about most conservatives is one of the best things about black people was they were apt to the FBI and the intelligence community and how bad they were before everybody else. And now I'm hearing a change of tune for people on the left. Now they're becoming pro FBI. Now they're pro ATF. And it's just, that's why I think that this is so hard, because I think there's a lot of what people would call bad actors in the deep state that have their hands in all parts of our society. So,
Listen, with that
It's a,
being said,
it's a lot of unpacking. It's a lot of unpacking we got to do.
I'm gonna let it stand there. I do have a meeting that I got to prep for that is starting in 8 minutes. I appreciate everybody
Okay,
for
brother.
coming up on the panel.
Hey, appreciate everybody,
Thank you
and
guys.
we'll circle back around.
All right,
And
my
I
friend.
sent you a message
Okay. All right, I got
to
you.
Anton. See you soon.
Okay.
All right. Out.
All right.
All right, my friend. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. One thing is for certain, two things is for sure. We're going to have people substantiate their arguments when they get up on these panels. I'm about to go and get my sexy black self in the shower so that I can go and head down to the content creation space and do what it is that we do on a regular basis. Listen, I love you. I appreciate you. And more importantly,
I love that you guys continue to rock with me and hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If you have not already, check out the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler